credit for this.
I don't think you get extra credit for this. And fortunately for you, that's going in. So, welcome. Thanks, Nathan, for being willing to talk to me about this. For our new society podcast thingy, whatever. Not sure what we're going to call it yet.
Banter. Basil
banter. I like that. I don't know. I've had some suggestions. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments if you want. So, yeah. Tell me some about yourself with college, with your major, with specifically like with society sports. Because you're junior, right?
Yes. So.
And I am not. So I don't know much about like what you've done with the school before my time.
Yes. So like he said, my name's Nathan Fithian. I'm a junior criminal justice major. I did a whole bunch of different sports. I played most of the sports we play for Basel, which we play a wide variety. So yes. So let's see. I was the former Basel Spirit Leader last semester. I've also held a couple of other association positions, like Criminal Justice Association.
Okay.
Going off of that, Lord willing, I'd like to be a police officer in this area. I'm from upstate South Carolina, so stay local, stay true to the South Carolina roots, at least for as long as God has me here. In terms of sports, when I first came in as a freshman, I played for the first semester I was here, because I came in during the fall.
Okay.
I played for the B team, for the Basel B team. We paired up with the Knights. A lot of great guys on that team. I played like starting defense. A lot of great guys we had for that one. I didn't really have any coaching positions. That was back when we had Wyatt Smith as our president.
Okay.
So the one-armed guy, he was he was the coach actually for us. So that was very cool.
Cool.
What an OG.
Yeah.
He had been here for a long time. He was a senior during that, so he
Okay.
graduated the year of. So that was pretty cool.
All right.
Then so it's split up between, like, as you know, it's the first half of the season is soccer, the second half is football. So we made it through that. We didn't have the best record, but we had a blast of fun. So the second half we did society football, and then like in soccer where we typically have two, like a B team and an A team, we just have one for society football.
Paired up with another
We
side?
weren't.
Not that.
So it was just, we had like one other guy, if I remember correctly, from Lanier.
Okay.
That was actually good friends with Ian, who was a quarterback. He graduated, but he had been there for a while too. He was good friends with Wyatt. He actually transferred societies. So him and Wyatt, he was kind of like QB and half coach, and then Wyatt was kind of more like the defensive coach. So it was kind of split 50-50. Yeah. We had actually a lot of guys for that thing. I can't remember how many were on the roster, but it was probably, I don't know, I want to say like 30 or something. There was a lot of guys out there. And we would get a lot of guys come out to the field.
How long had flag football been a thing at that point for society? At least for Basilean.
Yeah, for Basilean, it was a couple years previous. So my understanding is previous to that, we did joint with Z, I believe, like started it, and then we kind of branched off into our own because it kind of separated. Because I think originally when it started, which probably would have been, I don't know exactly when Bob Jones started doing it for their society sports, but I want to say, I don't know, mid-teens for the 2000s. I think, yes. they started it, and I think a lot of societies, there wasn't very many, so a lot of societies grouped together. It would be like 3 societies together just for one team.
Okay, wow.
So a lot of joint, which I kind of think is cool because it's a little bit different perspective. Like you have to work together with these guys. You build some bonds that you wouldn't normally have. So, so that happened, and we kind of split off into our own building out. And I can go on later about we're kind of gone back to that a little bit in current.
We'll get to that.
Yes,
for sure.
But that's just for my freshman year. We had that. And we didn't do super well on our record, but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good guys, put a lot of effort in. We went out there to glorify God and have fun, and I believe we certainly did that. So it was a good time.
Amen. So let's see. Let's talk about some of the sports from this last semester that we did.
Yeah.
We were on the same football team and soccer team, and Basilean as a whole had a good semester with our soccer and our football.
Yes.
So, what's your favorite memories from that?
So this semester was the first time I've realistically coached on like a collegiate level. Obviously, it's inter-society, so it's not like true intramural. But it's the first time that I coached because Trevor, who was coaching and athletic director this during the fall semester, had asked me to do it for the B team because he saw it as an opportunity for me to help out some of the new guys that had come in because we usually have a lot of freshmen. Like
Thanks, Nathan. Wow.
or other just like other from other societies. He thought it was good to have at least 1 or 2 people with some skill to be able to just help out and familiarity with how the society sports work stuff. And I will say I was a little apprehensive at first that I had never done coaching before, and I thought I was I am a player at heart, so I thought at first that I would not like it. But I couldn't say more that I loved it. I didn't get nearly as much playing time as I would have had I been a player, but it was so worth it to be on the sideline and just watch the coordination and just like pour your heart out into it before the game, after the game, during halftime, whatever it was, like just putting your effort into it and seeing that the guys like actually cared and you built the bond. Didn't matter about whether you won or lost, just that you built a bond with the guys out there on the field. For both sports.
So let's talk about the soccer season. We were with Basilean Co.
Yes.
Right?
So we had we had one Wolves guy. We had several Bryan guys, and I believe we had 1 or 2 Knights. So we had a good mix. A lot of different guys. Ethan Lott was our goalie.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. He had gotten. I wish we had him my freshman year. But yes, he was good. I appreciate him. There's a lot of good Bryan guys, so I'm really glad we were able to play with them. So they split it up between. They do like rec league and then Champions League, so kind of the A and the B.
And it was weird this year how that worked out.
Yes, it was.
Not ideal. I mean, it was
yes.
It was alright.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was good fun. So I forget what our season record was.
Oh well.
We had a lot of forfeit games.
We got like 3 wins because the other teams wouldn't show up, which is fine. And then we scrimmaged. And
yes, we always scrimmaged, regardless of whether we played or not. We scrimmaged sometimes with our A team, which was a lot of benefit for both sides. I know.
I remember when we scrimmaged with what society was it?
Sigma.
No, it wasn't Sigma. It was one of. I don't think it was Sigma. I think it was Rams.
Okay, that may have been.
And where you're supposed to play them
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
I remember that.
They show up late and like with not enough guys, so they're forced to
determined,
forfeit, even though they showed up, but they just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And so they still didn't have enough guys to play when we started scrimmaging them. And so my former assistant coach from high school was playing with them. He was like, "Wait, play with us because we're down." And I was like, "All right."
So we had to play versus this man.
I flipped my shirt inside out, and I scored like a couple of goals.
It hurt us so bad.
And I was like,
"It's just wrong."
Like, sorry, Lord. And it was nice because I got to score and not feel too bad about it because I was like, "Oh, it's a scrimmage. Oh, y'all should defend me better or whatever." And that was.
It was good practice.
That was
yes.
And then the rest of the scrimmage. I was so sorry.
Yeah. There was a lot of good memories from soccer season. Yeah.
So what's our top memories from our soccer season this year?
Probably the just like sheer excitement that like the hype from like us scoring or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like would just
So
be like against all odds. It would be an amazing team. And we didn't give up regardless of like we were down by a lot. It didn't make a difference. Like true sportsmanship, I told the guys, you can testify to that, like countless times. Like they would be down at halftime, they would just be really feeling the dragon. I'd be like, true sportsmanship, you don't give up to the end. It doesn't matter how bad you're losing. Like it just, you never quit. You don't give up. The true athlete, they don't quit. So I remember we had some clutch goals right in the low ebb, and it just the morale, you just left it. Yes.
Like, come on.
Yes.
Fight to the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably the best memories I have, and I mean the guys in general.
Yeah,
but like if you're
course.
asking for a specific field memory, I'd probably say that. So.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see. For some reason, I was thinking about this earlier. It's like the night games for me. Too many. Because I played better in the day for some reason this year.
Yeah. They do put you on a lot of like 9 o'clock games.
And it was like,
so, yeah.
And, by the way.
Yeah.
But I remember some like early season goals, and then like having to work through that mental battle, like doing it better than I normally would, especially with some of the guys.
Yeah.
And then like having some good team goals.
Yeah. Where you just see the coordination of the field
like,
and it accumulates in that. Yeah.
And then I remember being injured for like last few games. And the last few games there was some good stuff there, but it was also like really like some difficulties.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It was straining on us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we felt the strain by the end, that's for sure.
But,
good season overall.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
There are some really clutch goals too. They're from like multiple people in the team. Like,
yes, it was very much not just a single player.
It was like, how'd that go in?
Yeah.
Where does that?
Yeah, the goalie would be bewildered that it went in.
Yeah, I talked to the goalie, and it's like, dude, I would have gotten that. Like,
yeah.
And wonderful. Obviously, Spice Boys had a great year.
Amen.
Pigeon Bowl 2 years in a row, right?
Yep.
So, what are your thoughts on their season, I guess, and possibly looking forward to next year?
For our A team?
Yeah.
Like,
what do you think will develop?
I would say we are developing rapidly as being a top contender for the men's sevens champion league. We have rushed a lot of soccer athletes.
Yes. Okay.
So, in my opinion, and I know some people differ,
I think
that we should try in the near future for 11s.
Right.
I
Okay.
think that we have developed a certain level that we need more stress. A true team will not develop into their full potential unless they have strain. And we're going through the normal season with not very much strain.
Winning too easily.
Yes. And that gets into a certain motivation. You can be like, well, they went to the Pigeon Bowl 2 years in a row. They didn't win either one. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't move on to the next level. Yes, you're not going to make it to the Turkey Bowl, but that doesn't mean you don't go and try. Like, you need a certain strain. You need to get losses for the team because that will show them that they do have things that they need to fix and other stuff. And it's not just like they can't just keep going, 8-0 seasons and then just assuming that they're just going to win it all to the end.
Because we haven't.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes. I'm all for keeping a 7s team.
Right.
But I think that we should maybe try for like a 7s and an 11s team.
Instead of having the 2. So,
yes.
Okay. So hopefully we can do that next year.
I think that's something in the works. But
right. Okay. Moving on to flag football season.
Oh yeah.
So we had one flag football team, and we were combined with some guys from Vikings.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What was that experience like?
I thought they brought a lot of energy, a lot of hype. And they brought skill.
Yeah.
So Connor Hiddishu was our main starting QB, and my understanding is he played QB some in high school. So he brought a lot of actual field experience, which we definitely saw on the field.
Yeah.
He had some very awesome throws. And I never thought would made it to the semifinals, but we did. Yeah. We were in it. So that felt good. But it was really good. We had a lot of good guys. It got wild at times playing with the Vikings, but I appreciated having a group of guys that we could do. I feel like had we just tried to do it with just our guys from our society, it would have been difficult to get to the same level that we did. They brought a lot of skill that we didn't necessarily have, which I think is a good thing because it develops bonds with other societies, regardless of there's society differences, but we're all brothers in Christ. We all go to the same university, and we're out there to play sports, and there's just a bond that develops with a lot of those guys. So
I don't want to talk about this for too long. But I was happy to play with the Vikings guys. I wasn't they're not as far as society culture closest to us.
Yes.
But I think it was good that we do that with them. And the thing is, though, as far as the core group of players for flag football, the season was shorter and
because
at a harder
of
time
weather
in the semester,
stuff.
it was some weird stuff.
Yes.
So it's like the first week I had to miss 2
and there was like 3 games in 1 week. It was very brutal.
It was really weird.
Yeah, it was high stress.
But the core group of players was a lot of the Vikings guys were very consistent.
Yes, always there to practice, always there early, ready to warm up.
And personally, I think we had a great year.
Yes.
But it felt very early days, even at the end, to where if we had more of a core group, especially with the Basel guys, right? Because our roster, to various reasons, but our roster for our last game looked substantially different from the previous game.
Right. The first playoff game, we had the fullest roster we had of the whole season. We had the most guys out there we had of the full season. And I think our second one, going into the semifinals versus the Stallions, we had one of the smallest rosters. We had, I think, we were starting pretty much everybody, maybe 2 subs. 1 or 2 subs. Yeah. So it was a lot more strenuous versus the game versus Alpha that we won in the first. In the quarterfinals, we were basically having almost nearly a defense and offense. Which was very substantially different because we had guys getting off the field, resting, analyzing the game, getting back on. That was a lot more helpful.
Okay, so there was a lot of like the depth, and also it's like because with soccer we had a similar thing,
Yes.
but I just think the
we
nature
lacked
of
king.
the game.
Yes.
It's like if you haven't been here, even if you're a good athlete,
The lack of team
just
chemistry.
the lack of chemistry is
Yeah.
so much. Like it's there in soccer,
Yeah.
but you know if you know how to put tackles and if you know how to
Yeah.
dribble and shoot,
Yeah.
if you know how to ball out in sevens,
Yes.
you're gonna feel comfortable. That's why we're able to scrimmage so easily,
Right.
right? But with football, the intangibles are so much
Yes.
more. So, long story short, join flag football next year,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
So that we can have more depth. Now, how
Yes.
would you, as a coach, now both for soccer and for flag football, and I think you handle this differently because of the different sport and the different seasons, but with playing time and substitutes and having a bench, how did you work through that?
The biggest
Especially when
thing.
you're also a player. So.
Biggest thing for me was I don't want to put myself out there before my other players because that's not what a good coach should do. But I think a good coach, if you have players in the field that aren't motivated to play, regardless of the situation, you need to pull them, talk to them, and maybe put them back out there once they get motivated, or maybe just completely swap them out for another player. Because especially in it's sevens basically for flag football too. So you drop one player out, and that's a massive gap that's created in soccer and in flag football. Because especially if it's on defense, which is where I noticed like there was a lower ebb. And as soon as like a lack of desire to be there or interest in the game happened, like there would just be like a cloud that's created around that area of the field, and that would just be exploited by the offense on the other team. So I think the best way to do that is if there's the ability to have like subs or whatever, maybe like transfer them out so that a lot of times it's just like rest issues.
Okay.
So like I think if you give them time to rest, because obviously we didn't have a lot of subs, so a lot of the time they were just being overworked, which I think is inherent. We need more players, but a call for more players. And I appreciated doing joint society sports with other. I don't have a problem with that. Obviously, like you said, there's going to be a little more team chemistry with people of the same society. But I think that I think we have hidden skill, but if we don't find that, we're going to continue to need to rely on other societies to help us out, especially with flag football. Because I feel like we've developed a little bit more into societies of like a soccer focus, which I thoroughly enjoy. I like that too. And I mean, it is a big emphasis here at Buckles in general. That is a bigger season.
Sure is.
So, but I would love to see, I'm a big flag football guy. I would like to see that in the future develop a little bit more, because I feel like that is a cool sport.
And with that, put yourself out there. First of all, I don't have time. Okay, sure. Most people don't, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
And so if you truly don't have time, honestly, priorities. But
also, I think a lot of people say that they think that they don't have skill. You'd be surprised.
Exactly.
Just go out on the field. There does not hurt to tryouts or something.
I had never played football in a competitive environment. You know, and just over the last few years have I been getting back into the sport. But just by drawing out after a soccer practice one time with you and Rooks, and just throwing some ball.
It's just
you two who were experienced with the sport identified my strengths and weaknesses. You're able to go, yeah, you should play safety, you should play corner or whatever. And to where I wouldn't have been able to identify that myself. But the only way you were able to help me is if I went out there and balled out with you,
right.
Even though I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Because the assumption could be, for you especially, just be like, well, I'm not good at it in general, I just can't do it, period.
Where, I've never done this.
Yeah, like, so, I would love to play it, but I'll probably just get in the way or whatever.
Yeah. So, and an importance about society sports, and we'll get into this some at the end, is I watched something about, it was probably like classical education, and I think the guy's name is Montaigne, but he said that something along the lines of we are whole, that we are a whole person, so we should not divide ourselves up. So yeah, we're at university, it might be playing games and having fun or whatever, and there are things that take priority, but we are a whole person. So go out there, take care of your body.
Yes. And honestly, you think about it, I think there's been a lot of studies done on it. There is very few, it's almost negligible, there is any other way that you will get that level of fitness, cardio, that kind of conditioning on any other way, because you won't have motivation. You're not going to get on a track and just run circles around it.
That's right.
It's going to require, it's going to require a ton of motivation, versus if you have competition, if there's something involved that's driving competition, we're not even playing for a pay or anything. We're just to be out there to just win, the desire to win, because we're at, it's a low level competitive, but we have refs out there. We're doing it, like there's calls being made. You want to be at the best of your ability. That's just, it drives you to do better, which I think God has built into us to just be competitive.
Right, especially as men.
Yeah.
And one of the boons of this campus, one of the major pros, is our athletic facilities. That, first of all, I think the school should be a little bit more open to having us use it. Futsal courts, pickleball courts, why are they not open? Please. But the soccer fields are open, and the basketball court is open. And so a lot of other places, a lot of other schools do not have.
It'll be locked down for an actual team.
Yeah.
Or to add to that, they won't even have they don't have societies. They don't have society sports.
Yeah. Or
maybe they have like a fraternity, but it's just going to be throw football around.
Yeah.
Or just backyard football.
Yeah.
Where there's no refs. It's not really competitive level. You either are playing for the collegiate team, which requires an insane amount of level that you probably maybe would not get onto, or you can't play at all.
Yeah.
Versus this is kind of a nice in between where the average person, if they put a little work in and set some time aside, can actually have a lot of fun, but on a more competitive level.
Wonderful. So, what will the sports look like for this upcoming semester?
So volleyball, which is the one sport I haven't participated in. Not something I have against it.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
No offense. It's just I
love our volleyball players, but yes. I have not developed a taste for it, so
Slowly. Someday.
Yes. That is split a little bit between the very tail end of the fall semester into the start of the spring semester, and then pretty soon, I think it's February or so, basketball starts, and that's kind of like soccer, where it's the major part of the season. And that's pretty big hype, which kind of makes sense. It kind of reflects what we have in the Bruins.
Right.
It's big sports. And then I believe it goes, they have softball.
Oh.
I don't know team-wise what we're doing. I want to say we team paired up last year. I forget with who.
not in the song?
Yes. So we might.
I
I think
know
we
about
did it
that.
with Z.
I'm
We
looking
paired
forward
with
to
Z
that.
actually last year. So because they had a pretty big team. And then we did Ultimate Frisbee is kind of the end of it. So
Ultimate
it's the end of
Frisbee is
C. Yes.
wild.
Yes, it is. Yes.
If you're bored, look up like the Ultimate Frisbee League.
Mhm.
I don't remember what the league is called,
Yes.
but the United
If you
States
think
has
soccer's
one.
wild and
It's
stuff, you watch
weird.
that. Yeah.
It's like every touchdown is like a diving catch.
Yes. It's like the best of soccer and football with a frisbee combined. So
Yeah. It's
yes.
a society rugby win. Anyway,
In the near future, or not. I think there is, if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of other smaller sports spread throughout,
Okay.
but I don't know if those are so much society based. They're just kind of like they group them together. I know they do like pickleball tournament. I think that's more around
Yeah.
Bible conference, that kind of stuff. But those are the main society sports.
Cool. So, yeah, I was talking to Jonah earlier today. We were talking about, heard about some of the basketball, people
Mhm.
coming, people that should be on the roster, what that should look like.
Yes. I know last year we did an A team and a B team, and there's quite a few guys, so I don't know. That could be the plan for this year. That would be pretty cool.
Don't be afraid of losing.
Yes. No.
'Cause he
Because
wants
it's
to win.
far more fun to be just out there on the court than to be just putting it off that you're not good and you just don't play in general.
So it should be fun this year, yeah.
Yes. So,
See, for me, basketball is normally like the sport I do in the winter when I come home from school and it's dark and it makes me sad. It's like 5:30 and it's like, oh shoot. And so just get the basketball hoop on the sloped driveway and just like play some 10 p.m. basketball,
yeah.
pretending to be, Clemson or some European team.
Yeah.
But I haven't really done much of that this year, which makes me kind of sad. But
Yeah. This is very much the vibe
see.
here.
We'll
It's
see.
indoor courts,
Yeah.
but they're 8, 9 p.m. Just go shoot some hoop.
yeah.
So
And,
yeah.
cool. So we got volleyball, basketball, and ultimate frisbee.
Yes, and I don't know where softball fits in there. If we're
Softball.
doing that, or that's usually the underdog. People kind of ignore that, which I think it can be fun. So
Go join the softball team. It'll be fun.
yeah.
Be a second baseman. Oh man, that'd be interesting. So any other thoughts for me, for the society, fun things, memories about the flag football season, about us freezing.
Yes,
out there.
we played
Night.
with dedication.
It was so cool.
I am so proud of my guys that they were willing to play in 26-degree weather out on the flag football field.
I'm a southern boy, so I'd like to think I do okay in the cold. I couldn't feel my legs after making a few tackles in our last game. And, the playoffs were fun. There was just quite a contrast in between the two different nights.
Yes.
Just one night, you watch some of those professional games, some of the wild card games from this weekend, and you're just like, oh wow, why does the 14-3 record team now
Lose
look like
to the 9-8 team.
now
Yes.
look like a 3-14 team?
Yes, and we felt very much
We
the
felt
same
we
way.
felt like that, but
I'm
yeah.
thankful we made it
It
to the
was great.
semifinals, but yes.
But yeah, after a few tackles, I couldn't feel my legs.
Yes, it
I've
was
never
cold.
I've never not been able to feel my legs before. Like it was numb. I was like, this is bad. So if you're interested in some of that was again, I was frigid.
Wear sweatpants is my advice.
And then you had what was the Vikings guy that wore his
His jeans, his Jace snapping the ball. Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
His Carhartt jacket
Oh my
on.
goodness.
Yes. Nobody messed with them.
Anyway, so yeah, Society Sports.
Yeah, good fun.
Join them.
They're far more fun than you might expect, and you actually have the ability to play them. You can put your heart and soul into it, and you can actually try.
So hopefully, one last question: why should I participate in society sports? Why should you participate?
I think it comes down to two main reasons. God has given us the ability to play sports, and I think this is the perfect opportunity to learn sportsmanship, which I think is rounded in our spiritual walk with Christ, because you go out on the field and you play competitive, it will test the limits of your faith.
It's hard.
No joke.
Yeah.
It literally will. You know, you can mess around and whatever and you might not feel like it. If you put your heart and soul into it, you will feel the limits of your faith. And that's a true test to see how will you handle it in that. Because if you do that and you graduate from here and go out into the world and you couldn't handle that, how are you going to handle it when coworkers are just chewing you out, or customers, or whatever job interface you're going into? It doesn't matter.
By faith.
But yeah, without God's faith, you know, the faith that you have in God, you're nothing. So I think that if we can do this to benefit and edify each other, but also bring glory to God and play the sports, because that's the only reason we go out there. We don't go out there for any other reason.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I listened to a podcast a few days ago, Christian History Almanac, and it was about Christianity and sports.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at it for today, but also throughout history, and with culture, really, sports and religion are so connected and intertwined.
Yeah.
It's like it's the similarities are very very peculiar. You have ritual in both. You have a team. You have fans, I guess you could say. You have one goal everyone is putting forward. So you have opposition. You have
determination to just finish. Yeah.
You have, almost like some mythic elements in it with like history and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's like where does
And I think only in recent years has there become like a separation between the two, to where like sports have become more of a secular thing.
Okay.
I feel like where it's just like
there's always
just
been attention.
Yes.
That was the big thing that from the podcast. It's that there's always been this tension between Christianity and sports, like forever, because you
whether you just become like an idol,
because like on the one hand you have back in baseball in like the 20s, you have on the one hand like seen as the punk, punk's probably not the right word, but the rebellious, more of like for example, back in the day, around here at least, if you attended a public baseball game as a church member, that put you up for church discipline.
Yeah.
And it's like public baseball, right? And this and that. But so on the one hand, you have these baseball figures that are like, smoking, and on the other hand, you have people like Billy Sunday, baseball turned evangelist. You have I forgot his name, but in New York City, there's a cathedral where they have a picture in stained glass because he was a Christian. And it's like there's been this tension.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unique to see a place like Bob Jones, especially where sports for us, there's been attention, right? We had our football team. Yes, we had a football team back in the day that lasted for a little bit, and Bob Jones put a stop to it.
Because of the environment it was created.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like the distraction it was causing.
And shameless plug, I think we should bring it back. But hear me out, Bruins football team.
So any rich donors
who want to buy us all the gear would be down. We got some athletes on this campus that could probably pass.
and then we can steal all the football players from like NGU,
That's true.
Anderson.
That's
you
true.
know. So, but we didn't even have intercollegiate sports until 10 years ago, just about.
Yeah, because they had it back when they had football and stuff,
Yeah.
but then they did away with it completely for so many years. Yeah,
But there's such a.
I think
It's
it
so
has to be
unique.
carefully balanced,
Yeah.
and I think you can swing the opposite string of getting rid of it completely, or you can just fully embrace it. So I think we've developed a good balance.
Good.
So,
So, participate in society sports. Participate in the Basilean Eagles Society Sports. Go Birds. Yeah, thanks, Nathan. Thanks for
it's been a
spending
pleasure.
time with
Yeah.
me, and I hope we have a great semester.
Yes.
For society.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.